Hey guys, this is James from 4X Alchemist, and we're going to be bringing you guys something really special today. Um, Instead of another expert guide, we're going to jump in and I'm going to do a PvP with my brother David, who's on the other line right now.
Hey guys.
So we're going to pit my Lumeris, which are my favorite race, against his very excellent Cravers. Um, the way that we're going to do this is each of us are going to be recording our perspectives, and then in 45-minute chunks, we're going to be uploading each of them so you can see what the game looks like from my eyes and from his eyes, and follow along with either or both of us as we pit ourselves against each other. It should be a ton of fun. All right, let's get into this thing, David. I hope you have Dark Glitter and 3 gas giants on your main system.
And I hope I'm right next to you and I can come eat up all your juicy, fat little butts.
Oh, jeez. Well, that'd be a short game. All right,
Yep.
good luck, man. I'm signing off.
Yep. Good luck to you as well.
All right, guys. So we had a bug in the first attempts of doing this, so we're gonna try this again, where the Craver quest didn't fire. So we're gonna start over, and I'm hosting again. We've got Lumeris versus Cravers. Let's get into this game. Oh, yeah, there we go. David clicks ready as well, and we're gonna go in. So in the most recent patch, there are a couple of really important changes that affect how we play Lumeris in the early game. The biggest one of these is that it used to cost at least 80 dust in order to upgrade one of your ships. Now it costs at least 30 dust. And this difference of 50 is massive because it allows us to do the probe resets that I cover a lot in my expert guide, my Lumeris expert guide. So much easier while sacrificing so much less. Because, yeah, you just can, for 30 dust, boom, boom, reset your probes. And you can even give your hero ship probes for a small amount of dust. And, yeah, and really go off to the races. All right, so we have a couple of good signs right here already looking at this. The first is that we see at least 3 curiosities. We have a colonizable planet on our homeworld, and it's a jungle with red sang. So I'm happy to see all of this. You know, another atoll would be better, but no objection to the jungle for sure. We've got an atmospheric, a subterranean, and a life form. So there's probably, well, let's see. Maybe we'll even have titanium or something on our jungle. So, jumping into this, we can do research right away. We always do xenolinguistics and then usually xenobiology after. So I'm just going to go ahead and queue those up. We assign our hero to our fleet, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Did I call it? I think I called it. Titanium right away, and 50 dust. Whew. Alright, so titanium on our jungle. That's a good sign. We wanted titanium more than Hyperium because we'll get xenolinguistics first, so we'll actually start accumulating this titanium right away without having to get plasma metallurgy first, and then we'll be able to go for markets and benefit from selling our strategic resources we before we have to get plasma metallurgy, or at least that's going to be the plan. So then the next step here is I'm going to take this caravel, and notice the upgrade cost here is only 30, right? And so what I'm going to do, now it's 40 dust to reset and get 5 new probes. So I say to that, absolutely yes. Here we go, 40 dust. And let's look at the map a little bit. So it's this huge spiral galaxy, or pinwheel galaxy. And so with my 5 probes, I want to go 1, 2, let's see. We have to pick one of these 2 that our hero is going to go down. I'm going to choose that one. Ooh. We found something. It's a Mediterranean with 4 new curiosities. Atmospherics, life forms, atmospheric life form. Alright, well, this tells us where we need to go with these guys, right? So these guys can go together. Pop over here. We have one more probe this way, so that's already been thrown that direction. And we're just going to throw another one out straight this way, because this is where we're most likely to find, here and here, or where we're most likely to find spots for off-piste colonization outside of the normal star lanes. So, let's check into these places. Oh, a negative anomaly. Strong magnetic field. Yuck. But at least red sang. Psychoactive air and influence. Ah, so this is a bummer and a half, I have to say. Really too bad. But also double arid. And we've got more anomalies here. So the likelihood, actually, we should keep this in mind. Well, first of all, I'm undoubtedly going to be making this my first colony, since we can do it on the first turn. And, yeah, we'll talk more about what we can do with other stuff later. And then for laws, right away, we're going to do Super Tax Act. Toys for Boys also is much better now than it used to be. Alright, I think that's all that we need to do. Yeah. Toys for Boys is much better than it used to be, thanks to the, oh wow, it's a long thing here. Oh, that looks like it's the end of something. But thanks to the fact that this loyalty thing, which gives bonus dust and science based on empire happiness, that actually used to not give anything. It would say plus 15%, but it actually didn't give plus 15%. Now it does, and that makes a big difference. Alright, so with these guys, I'm actually going to just go ahead and charge in this direction. Oh, we're still waiting for the turn to go. There we are. Oh, David was probably ending his turn still. Oh, snap. Alright, what have we got here? A little tundra with 5 curiosities. So this is where we should check. Oh, so sometimes there's the curiosity quest here, which I can win really easily, and sometimes it's that 8 planets colonized quest, which I have such a harder time doing. But we're still gonna try to get as many curiosities as we can, because, well, it's good for us. So, also, if I wasn't gonna get one curiosity here, I definitely should have left the atmospheric up. So that was a mistake, because the atmospherics are important to leave up later on, because you can get them for the Academy quest that comes up later. Now, I mentioned for that system before, our second system where we have our outpost, to pay attention to that, because our hero has plus 10 dust per anomaly for each colonized planet on system. Oh, we're in the middle of ending the turn from David. So in addition to his science bonus, he can get the dust bonus on the systems. Well, we're stuck in this screen for a little bit. Sorry, guys. And so, like, because he's not giving huge bonuses to the, you know, per population or something like that. Oh, come on. There we are. Ooh. Found our first minor civilization. Which, well, we can either rush this, which is actually what I'm going to do first. But then we're definitely going to want to start impressing these guys as soon as possible. Yeah, the downside of putting him on a secondary system is that he won't get as much experience. And experience for heroes is a pretty good thing. Oh, ruins. Ruins are one of the better ones to get. Ruins and signals are the most likely to give you things like the pinch beam, like weapons and so on. Okay, and then remember that guy's down there with a huge number of curiosities, right? And he's just regenerating his probes right now. He's got 5 curiosities down here that I can explore. And I want to get there in the next couple of turns with my hero so that he can scoop up that experience from those curiosities. Well, and so my science right now is a little bit on the sad side, but what can you do? What can you do? Yeah, and then after my hero gets down here, so this is why we need our hero to be back on the planet at the earliest possible second, and at least level 3. Because if he gets to level 3, and we're just waiting for David to finish ending his turn. Because as soon as we get level 3, then he gives plus 40 science, obviously. Plus 40 science is such a huge boost over the 18 that I have right now, which gives me almost nothing. Oh, yes! Yes, 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 yes. So, what have we got here? We've got a tundra. Fantastic. So this is an opportunity for us to go off-piste, right? Get something outside of our normal star lanes. That's so good. That's exactly what we want to be happening right now. Because that means that for our 3rd colony, we can do something out here and not have to send outpost ships to it. Because there's no way for our outpost ships to reach it, because we don't have the ability to travel across star lanes. But we can make colonies there. Alright, so we're definitely going to finish the colonization here, and then after that, we can make cerebral reality. I think we go ahead and do it. The other option would be to make a caravel, since we have so much exploring to be done, but I'm actually not super concerned about making a caravel. I am going to go ahead and send this guy out exploring, though. So he hopefully has... Yep, he's got 2 now. Now he's got 3. We get our first quest. So, either we can assimilate a minor civ, we can get on 4 planets, or we can wait for David's turn to start. Oros Arakio in a wheelchair. Yeah, the lore for Endless Space is actually so much fun. I really like it. But I think if we were to do all of the reading of the quests in a multiplayer game, I think my brother would, yeah, bite my face off. Alright, so the third one is to explore 50% of the galaxy, which on a huge galaxy is almost untenable. So, we're definitely going to take the 3 out of 4. Hey. So, we've got 3 probes here. Remember, if we can, we leave the atmospherics, if we have a choice. Harashems. Not bad, not bad. Some extra Hyperium. And there we are with our level 3. So, we've got what should be 2 atmospherics left here, right? And we can leave those here. Go back, we can reset our probes. And yep, and then we've got 4 turns to get our butts to, oops, ooh, I should have gotten the signal first. Oh, so we've got a forest over here with titanium and Hyperium on it. Another good place. And a tundra with our red sang and a permanent monsoon. Yeah, this is making a strong case for a good system as well. Probably better than our off-piste tundra. Especially if this one is going to be done in 7 turns. So basically by the time that we can do anything there, it will be back already. Sorry, by the time that we have enough dust to create an outpost here, this place will already be colonized, and we can pull food from this instead of from Virgo. Although it's still a benefit to be able to go over here and not have to pull any dust at all. So, I could reset the probes of my ship. I think I probably should. Probably the easiest way to do that. Let's see, there were 3 over there, right? Close. Confirm 3 here? Yeah. So this is my Caravel 2 that we had. So it's got the 5 probes right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and take the Caravel 2 and say like, you know what, we really wanted an engine, not more probes. And for 35 dust, I can say, alright, you got it, sir. Engine it is. Now get your butt over there. And he will. Alright, David is done. I have 1 more turn until a probe here. I'm actually gonna wait. I really wanted to get that signal. That was silly for me to not do it earlier. Oof. Yeah, having this extra Harashem will be nice, because boy do I need some extra science right now. Oh, this is why. No wonder my science was hurting so much. The jungle gives no science, and when I colonized it, it moved a guy over automatically. Better for my production, worse for my science, and what I really needed was my science. This is a big mistake, actually, guys. So every time you colonize a new planet, 1 unit moves over automatically. So, I mean, it's not a huge loss, right? It was 2 science per turn. Okay, 2 science per turn for 3 turns. Okay, I'm not actually going to cry too much about that. It wasn't a huge mistake, but it was a mistake, because I should be maximizing my science right now. Alright. Now remember the quest that we've got on the science tree here is to be on colonized 8 planets. So colonized 8 planets means that these arids, for example, and savannas will make a very nice route for colonization. The extra snow that I've got here is a nice one to colonize. And so just between these 2 places, I can have 7 colonizable planets. So I have a chance of getting that one if I play my cards right. We're just gonna have to really kick it into gear with the science right now, which we should be able to do, but this isn't perfect. Let's check in on the score. Oh, check it out. I'm currently beating my brother, so he's probably having a slightly slower start than me. Finishing the cerebral reality in 2 turns, which will coincide nicely with the xenolinguistics, also isn't bad for us at all. Not at all bad for us. Yeah. because yeah, that pumping of 10 extra dust, and you saw how much science we desperately need. Will be very nice. Now, over here, our friends the Harashems, who give extra science. Unfortunately, we're not quite at 75, even with the Super Tax Act. Curses. Right, so we wait for David to catch up on his turn. One of the nice things, just kind of like pulling back for a second, I'm always a little scared when I start more towards the center as Lumeris, even though it's great for this kind of off-piste colonization in multiple directions and so on. I get really scared by it because it means I'm much more likely to be close to David's Cravers. And if I start next to David's Cravers, I lose every single game. Like, there's just no way of winning. Boop, boop. Alright, Hyperium, Coral Reefs, and Dust. We'll take Dust. Ooh, a Hyperium Intensifier. Energy damage and critical hit chance are up. This is a great one for us, actually especially for Lumeris. I think this is the best module that, along with the similar kinetic one, that we can possibly get as Lumeris. And look at this place. That's cool. Right, and now, of course, because we just revealed a bunch of curiosities, they're going to become our friends much faster, which I like. I like friends. And then in one turn, he will be ready to depart and head back to the planet. There is some small argument that we can give him more experience if we delay one turn here. Let's see how close he is to level 4. Not very close, so he'll probably make it to level 4 anyway when our Xeno-industrial infrastructure is finished. So I'm not going to worry too much about prioritizing the maximization of his experience at the expense of extra science and dust for us. Also, we got that extra population, as you saw, which makes me quite pleased. And this should be finishing pretty soon, actually. Alright, finally, Xenolinguistics is done. We intentionally didn't put anything behind Virgo, or behind our cerebral plants in the queue. I'm waiting for Dave here. So that if you put something behind whatever you're building in the queue, the industry will automatically kind of roll over into that next thing. But if the building that you want to build next is being unlocked that following turn, then what you need to do is actually wait and leave your queue open. That industry floats and then will be applied to whatever you build the following turn, whatever you place in the queue the following turn, meaning this one. So, okay, David is now in the game. There's our Xeno-industrials. We assign our boy over here as the governor. That boosts our science way the hell up. And we go for our marketplaces, which we can get in 5 turns. Now, this is something that I should make a whole video about at some point. The idea of tact, meaning we want our science to be finished when we're ready to use it, right? If we finish xenobiology in 2 turns, we're not going to be ready to build our public-private partnerships, nor are we going to be ready to found our tundra planet, because we want to go for this forest with the double resources first, especially since this is going to be done in probably 2 turns. So what we could use instead, actually, are markets. We are definitely ready to use those. We have all this Hyperium to sell, And so if we switch this around, we can get markets 1 turn earlier, still have our public-private partnerships in 5 turns, and gain 1 extra turn of utility. It seems minor, but this idea of constantly thinking about how to optimize what we're doing, I think hugely beneficial. Alright, David is finished over there, and we've got another, holy crap, a whole bunch of arids. We've got more atmospherics. I feel like I need more life forms. It's a very alive area. But what a great system. 4 excellent planets over here. So I'm going to be hanging around there for a while, it looks like. Yeah. Finishing our public-private partnerships, our cerebral exchange here is helping us boost even further. So we're up at 78 science. We could even try to boost it a little bit faster, but we'll be getting stuff from them in 2 turns, which will be even more science, exactly what we want to be getting at this stage of the game. Yeah, and we don't want to be spending our dust on unnecessary things right now, because our precious dust is definitely going to be used for making new outposts. That's really our priority right now. And that's why we need markets so badly, because markets will unlock, for example, these 43 red sang we've already got going on from both Akamar and Virgo, producing red sang. And we're going to sell all of that. We're going to sell all of our Hyperium, all of our titanium, and use it as a big power spike to build colonies, build outposts. Now, there is one kind of sad thing here. I built this outpost so quickly that it will be finished almost right away, by which I mean it will be finished almost too early, before we can make outposts in other places. And the reason that I even mentioned that is this. I can end my turn and kind of explain as the turn is going, just to make sure. Yeah, that's all kind of happening automatically. You know what though? I think I might upgrade to switch back to 5 probes, come over here and explore a bunch of areas, because it looks like, yeah, if I sit over here, I can probably explore some interesting stuff. There we go. See that? That's a minor civilization right there. Okay, I'll get one next turn. Instead of getting another curiosity, I'm going to find that minor civ. Anyway, I forgot what I was going to try to explain. Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, my colony is finished. But spending dust to rush a colony, when you only have 1 colony, costs 150 dust. When you have 2 colonies, it actually increases to 250 dust to rush it, and then 350 dust if you have 3 colonies, and so on. So if we make our second outpost, the actual optimal time to do it is 1 turn before you create your next colony becomes, your next outpost becomes a colony, if that makes sense. Because you want to be able to start the colony, then spend the smaller amount of dust to rush it for 10 turns, then finish the colony, your previous colony, the next turn, which would, prevent you from starving out your previous systems by having too many outpost ships. Alright, so here we're sitting on a Mediterranean, right? The downside of all Mediterranean planets is that they are hot and neither temperate nor fertile. So even though we have lots of room to grow with the extra population slot, we don't have a lot else going for us. So I'm going to build the cerebral reality first, and I'm going to potentially build a drone network, although I might even build the caravel next. I might build caravel first. Yeah, I think I build the caravel first. And as I suggested before, I'm gonna change from this structure. Am I really though? I think that just swapping this and saying, alright, you know, hey Mr. Caravel, why don't you check out that atmospheric, because you can, with a little bit of lag. Uh-oh. I think it's time to save this game, guys. Alchemist PvP. Save. Ooh. Oh, David is in an encounter. That's why. Also, he's really jumped ahead of me in points. You see this? He's fighting someone, doing his little Craver things. Ugh. I hate it. I hate it. So he's about 20 points ahead, which is about what I would expect at this stage of the game. But all is definitely not lost, because we are going to be expanding rapidly. We have 3 good planets in our home system. It's going to be okay. So, and we're going to discover this minor civilization out here, just like I promised. And then, is he still in that encounter? Oh, he must be really talking about his battle strategy, I'm guessing. Well, fine by me. There we go. Super Spuds. Interesting. Ooh, reveal the isolated nodes of the constellation. Oh, yes. So, what have we got? What juice? We got lava over in Essa. That's a bummer. Up here, we've got steppes, savanna, snow, and Arctic with the tunneled slip gates. Okay, that's a great spot. And then an arid with Transvine and the 17,000 Islands Bridge. Actually not that bad. Because one of the great things to be as Lumeris is we can actually... Oh, hello. We can actually go settle those planets whenever we want. Alright. Now we have to just be patient. Hopefully we'll be able to jump this up. No, we can't. Not from 2 turns to 1 turn, because we will get some science from our Calgaros quasi-allies, starting not so long from now. Okay, so in 4 turns, we'll get another person here. There we go. They're going to provide us with some of their resources. We're going to finish our Xeno-Industrials in 2 turns. Slightly ahead of schedule, actually. Isn't it? And then we'll probably move to go... Probably to build another caravel. So we wait for David to load into the game. And then, see, we actually want to discover these guys here too. Oh, another Calgaros. Hello. And they'll give us more science if we give them money, which is a trade I'm happy to make. Because especially next turn, we'll have a lot of money. So I might even do the full amount here, which seems crazy. Oh, by the way, it's a perfect amount of dust. Seems crazy, but like, trust me, I'm going to get a bunch of dust next turn. So going down to 0 right now Actually, not so bad. Okay, let's see if we can explore more over there, and then start making our way out here. Alright, how much are these guys giving us? 7 science. Not a ton at this stage of the game, but you know what? I'm not complaining. Definitely not complaining. So, yeah, there's also a point here where once we have a little bit more population, we should think, oh, especially since I dropped to content from happy, I think that we can actually jump 2 levels with, alright, so hold on. I'll bet if we go and abolish Super Tax Act and put in Toys for Boys, we can jump ourselves all the way to devoted and get plus 30 industry and science, which is actually going to jump us up from 70 to 89, and it saves us a turn there, which means that we'll be finishing, getting ready for our public-private partnerships just on time. Oh, we lost some science somehow. What happened? Because this was said it was going to be in 1 extra turn. Whatever. Okay. So the plan here is to do each of these videos in 45-minute segments, and then David is obviously recording his side, I'll be recording my perspective, and then we'll upload them all together. So we've got 10 more minutes left in this segment, and then we'll be pausing it, starting again with what'll be a new segment, and it'll be like part 2 of the competitive video from each of our perspectives, so that way you guys can like come in and it'll be starting at the same turn for both of us every video. So now we need to use our dust, our sweet, sweet dust. Ooh, what's this over here? The Unfallen. So who can we meet here? How about if we meet the Unfallen?
The Unfallen greet you. The Unfallen greet you.
So we need a little bit more influence to declare peace with them. That suggests to me that what we should be doing here, instead of anything else, is going after one of our infinite number of life forms. I'll go on this arid again. Because what I would like to have more than anything else is actually some influence. Okay. So, Caravel does seem like the right call there. And obviously this is going to be a long turn because we are going to use the marketplace to its fullest. Oh yeah. We're selling everything. Now, 1K. 1K gives us the ability to go here and rush and make sure that it's pulling from not Virgo but Akamar. I think that's correct. Yes, that's correct. I want it to pull from Akamar. And then we should have enough for a secondary one as soon as we get the Tundras, which again won't pull from Akamar. Alright, so xenobiology's finished. I think that we were going to go for PEV scales or eukaryotic sap next, You don't really need the stuff over here. Planetary landscaping isn't bad at all. Might be worth going if we want to stay on tact. But the other one that I'm excited about is definitely using our snow planet in our main space. Right? Gets us extra red sang. It's a planet. But also, I kind of want to colonize this area. Oh, that's right. So we're on our 4th planet. That gets us 300 dust. Now we have to generate 150 dust on a single system, which is not easy. So, you know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to go with the arid first. The reason I'm doing the arid and not the savanna, by the way, is the savanna is the one that causes us to have over route transit. And I actually don't want that over route transit. I really don't want it. Okay. Yeah, we'll build another caravel here. I don't love it because our dust production is looking pretty poor in this case. We need more Lumeris citizens on fertile planets is what we need. Like you. You need to be a colony already. Speaking of, you know what? If I really am serious about using those anomalies, I should come back here, reset my 3 probes, and use them. Alright, so and by the way, the arid here, of course, by getting PEV scale will allow me to spread to multiple places here, which might actually make the Xeno-Industrials worthwhile, but more relevant is the food one that I'm going to get next. That'll give +5 +5 food extra on HOTS. So 15 extra food for each planet. Oops. I made another small mistake here. I shouldn't have ended the turn when I could be colonizing these 2 places. I've got the tiny tundra with a couple of barrens, more red sang, or the off-piste one. And this is the one I'm actually, as I mentioned, more excited about. Now we might want to wait until that unfallen ship has passed by.
The unfallen greet you.
Especially since I can't quite declare peace with him yet. So, throwing 1 probe out that way to see what's at the end of that star, and then I'm just gonna head back over here. So, now that I know that there is blue cap mold on this tundra, means blue type mold, comatite volcano. Yeah. There's no chance I'm not taking this place. No chance. And we will immediately rush it. 10 turns. It doesn't pull anything from anywhere. Or sorry, 13 turns. Okay, this questioner does not seem to be getting in my way, although he could. If that wasn't human player, he would definitely poop all over me for that move. And we should be, our investment in this guy should be paying off next turn. Good. With more dust. Yeah. The minor civs actually pay back the dust that you put into them pretty quickly usually, especially from the perspective of, you know, you're getting science back too, and manpower. We have a ton of manpower right now, although we're not using it. The Arid Steppes Boreal system here, though, will be of interest to us a bit later. So, after this, unfortunately, as you guys saw, I'm building PEV scale accelerators next, so I'm going to finish a caravel. Yeah, PEV scale accelerators next, then planetary landscaping. Then we're going to go with metallurgy before we do the snow planets. Because the snow isn't giving us so much here. Like, we don't really need to expand to it. And I'll be pretty happy to build... I'm going to just go there and there. Because that'll actually reach whoever's purple. Who do we think is purple? Someone bad. Maybe the I would have guessed the Lumeris, but it might be the Empire? I'm not sure. I'm not sure who purple is in this game. So, these guys... Oh, no, not yet. So, we're going to throw a probe over here. Then we're going to tell him, hey, it's time to upgrade and head back. Because we've got 6 more curiosities to go through. We've got our 2 atmospherics down here, which we are totally ready for as soon as the quest comes up. Totally ready for it. Alright. That's going to be time, so David's going to end his turn whenever he's ready. And then, as the turn is ending, I'm going to wind down this video, and then we'll immediately just resume with another one, and keep going from the next one in this series. Alright, so, it's turn... Well, let's see, it's turn 17 right now. We've got 2 colonies, 2 outposts. Could be better, could be worse. We'll wait for this thing to wind down. Let this turn start, and then we're going to come back in at the beginning of the next turn.